So I want to have a look at making music without using instruments or without using the synths within Ableton, or at least at the beginning. So what I want to do is I want to put out the idea that anything can be an instrument, whether that's a glass, a wine glass, for example, a elastic. Okay. What else do we have? Get a bag or a box of tricks here, an empty 2 litre carton of milk, and we've got some metallic things here as well. Okay, so the reason why I want to do this is because there's a whole movement within music that basically uses these techniques to make some really interesting music. Sometimes they incorporate this and they also incorporate instruments, you know. So what I want to do is I want to open up the idea or the question, what is an instrument? You know, what defines an instrument? Is it something that can be pitched to a certain tone? Is it something that you can change the timbre on? Is it something that you can tune to different scales? Is it something like that? For me, it's not, to be honest, but maybe for you it is. But what I would ask you to do is to basically think for a second that anything around you can be an instrument. Now that opens up a lot of possibilities. It actually opens up more possibilities than all the instruments put together, in my opinion. You know, if you think that the wind is a possible instrument, the rain is a possible instrument that you can use and sequence and play. You know, any piece of rock, any piece of metal, any piece of wood, you get all these different textures and there's different ways that you can record it. I won't look into different mic techniques today. I want to keep it simple. So the mics that I'm going to use is this one, this free one over here, and also my phone. It's just an iPhone sitting here, so there's a recorder on that. Clearly these mics will record better sound, but you don't always need really good sound. Sometimes you want sound that isn't that good, depending on what you're looking to do. So don't worry too much about not having the right technology. If you have Ableton and you have a phone that has a recorder on it, that's enough for now. The rest is down to your imagination. So basically what I want to do is I want to record a couple of sounds. I'm going to try and limit myself to 10 items that I've basically found around the house. So I'm going to try and use 10 items. I'm going to record these items into Ableton, and then I'm going to manipulate them, sequence them, and try and create a basic drum kit, something that allows me to make a pad sound, a lead sound, and a bass sound. And I'm going to try and make a track. So we'll see how far on we get for this. I don't know whether this is going to be 1 parts or 8 parts, but I'm fascinated with the idea that anything can be an instrument. I can give you some examples of artists that's done this in the past. You have the likes of the legendary John Cage. I'm going to take it in a different direction from the way that John Cage would have done this, but it's the principle is there. It's essentially using anything as an instrument or a sound source to create music. But then again, that opens up the question: what is music? So it just kind of opens a can of worms, or a few cans of worms. And I think it's a really interesting way and a creative way to think about music and sound, whatever those things might be to you or to me or to anyone else. So without further ado, I'm going to hop into Ableton and we'll get cracking. We'll record some sounds. So basically, I'm going to use a wine glass. I think you can get some really nice sounds from this. I'm going to try and play it and create a pitch from it. You need to kind of wet your fingers and rub it at a certain angle with certain pressure, and then it'll start singing back to you. Essentially what's happening there is the glass, it's self-oscillating, it's resonating, it's oscillating at the pitch that it oscillates at. Everything moves, everything vibrates. So we're figuring out what pitch this vibrates at it, and we tickle it until it vibrates at that pitch. I think that's what's happening anyway. So we have a few other bits and pieces, but it's nothing that you wouldn't find around the house. So again, we'll be using these things, and I'm going to start recording these things into Ableton now. So what I will do is I will open up Ableton, and then I will pop over to a different camera, and hopefully this all works. So there's Ableton. Let's just maximize that. And if I'm upside down. So let me fix that. And basically, yeah, so if we can get this working, which I think we can, flip vertical, boo, there we are. Now there'll be a delay in this camera. My apologies, just I'm running so many different things here. I'm running 3 different cameras, Ableton, and a screen capture software program, 2 sound cards, and drinking tea at the same time. It's not easy. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to shut up here and start recording things. So first thing I want to do maybe is to get something that I want to turn into a kick. So I'm going to make a techno track for the crack. Yeah, you can use anything for this. So I want to show you how a sound can start off and what it can end up like. So I'm going to record this in, I think. Yeah, I can definitely make a kick out of that. Okay, so without further ado, we'll start recording things in here. So a few different variations of that. I'm going to pop that down. So that's going to be hopefully my kick. So I'm going to rename that now, kick. And milk. Weird. Okay, so just have we look at it. It's in there. That's fine. I'm not going to play it back just yet. I'm going to record. Well, do you know what? I will play this one back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Alt and drag this out. And I'm going to make a copy of it because I'm going to record everything in here. And then I'm going to start moving stuff out into their own channels. So let's have a listen to this first of all. And don't need to hear that one. Okay, so you probably can't hear that. Nope. So let's try. Okay, so hopefully you can hear that now in a second when it comes around again. Beautiful. Okay, so bear with me. I just need to open up another wee thing here and we should be good to go. There we go. Okay, so I'm assuming you can hear that now. Let's just check. Yo, okay, right. I can hear, you can hear. We can all hear. Can everyone hear? Good. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just take that sound into a sampler. So new MIDI track, Command Shift and T or whatever, and let's get a sampler. We'll do. Pop it in there and then drag the sample into it. So basically, I need to figure out which one of these I want now. So probably this one here. So I'm going to click and drag down to get right into that. Okay, so how can I make a kick out of that? Well, it's quite simple, to be honest. Think about the pitch of a kick, it's quite low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to classic mode. You can go to one shot if I want as well and transpose it that way as well. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try classic first. Go to controls and then I'm going to so I'm going to pitch it down. Something like that. I'm going to filter out the high frequencies. I'm going to take the sustain and the decay down a bit. something like that. And then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pitch envelope, and what this allows me to do is to pitch it up at the start, and then bring it down again. So what I'm trying to do is work out the best starting point for this. Go back and check the sustain and release. Okay, so that's... I'm happy enough with that for now. I'll probably change it as I go along, but I want to just get something in here. So I'm just playing the keys on the keyboard. I like that. Okay, so where are we at here with that? We are here. Okay, so I'm going to draw this in. Now, it's saying here A, it's not A, I don't think. Okay, so mute this other one here a second. And once you have something in here, I think it's easier to work out exactly what direction you want to go with it. Okay, I might actually shorten that sample a wee bit as well. So I'm just going to zoom out here a wee second. There's an extra wee kind of yeah, something like that will work for now. Okay, so next up, audio effects, drum bus. Okay, and let's crunch this up a wee bit, drive. Before. Okay, right. So at the minute we have a kick that no one else has. Okay, so we got there. Okay, that's grand for now. So say we have our kick there now, right? So just rename this kick. And I can delete that. Probably shouldn't delete that actually. I'll leave that there. But we do have it in here as well, so that's fine. Okay, cool. So let's move on to our next sound. So I just wanted to get a kick down there to give us some type of reference, and we'll take that up to around about 1, 2, 5, something like that. Okay. Right, I'm happy enough for that for now. Okay, so next up, what I want to do is I want to record in, I'm going to go through every camera until I get the right one there. I'm going to record in the wine glass. So essentially, I'm going to dip my fingers in water, fingers and thumb, And then I'm going to try and record this, so it's going to take a couple of attempts. Oh, by the way, if you don't have a microphone, I should have mentioned this before, as I said before, you can use your phone. So if I want to use my phone to record this, I'm going into voice memos on the iPhone, which looks like this. Only the other way around. Okay, voice memos. And I'm just going to hit record here, and then I'm going to start playing. Very nice. So let's get that into Ableton. So the best way to do this is, if you look on your settings, once you record this, you should see something that looks like new recording. So you get something like this, okay, and you press the three dots on the left hand side. Once you press those, you then get a few options to share. So I'm going to share. Now, because I have a Mac, I get an option to airdrop this to myself, but if you don't have that option, you can email it to yourself or upload it to a cloud and then download it from there. So what I do is I just go now to my downloads. Well, actually, let me just show you how this works. If I press airdrop, I get a wee airdrop message up here, and I accept that, and then it goes into my downloads. Okay, so that's how it works. Right, so basically what I would do then is I just literally drag this into Ableton. So let me show you that. If I open up Ableton here, new recording, and just drag it into live. Okay, so let's have a listen to it. And I'm going to start playing. You can even use that for something. So we've a couple of things we can do with this. I'm going to make a few copies of this. I'm going to duplicate this one. I'm going to open up, well, there's a few things, right? So we can open up a sampler. Pop it in there. Then we can hone in on the pitched element of it. So say it's around about here. So I'm going to zoom right in here. Actually, let's just grab this wee tail end as well. So this is a start and end point of your sample that you want to play back over your keyboard. So I'm going to zoom right in here, and I'm going to play in around here somewhere maybe. So that's very, very short, but that's fine. So I'm going to add a sustain mode. So basically what this is doing is it's sustaining the sound. So it's making it last for as long as you want. And I want it to play back and forward. So it's going to go, sorry, it's going to go forward and then back. So it's going to be that kind of, you know, cycle forward and cycle back type of motion. So I just need to make sure this is in the right place as well. So click and drag up to zoom out, and then bring this in, and then click and drag down and steer at the same time. That's your best bet to do that. So those clicks and pops can be avoided by adding a crossfade, so it fades the volume in and out. So we're getting somewhere with it. What I want to do actually, another thing that you should use a lot when you're doing this is a tuner. So I'm going to see what pitch it's actually at. A flat, interesting. So what I can do now is I can go to C, B, A flat. Okay, so now when I press C, hopefully, so what this is doing is it's asking you what the root note is. So the root note is what pitch is the sample, and if you can work out the pitch of the sample, then you select it here. So then when you press a particular key on a keyboard, it knows to play that particular pitch. So it's like tuning essentially. So now if I get a tuner in here, if I press C on the keyboard, well, doesn't always work. So I'm just going to click on this C. There we go. There we go. So I'm just holding down C on the keyboard and then moving the root note. See if it's slightly out, you have a detune here in sense as well, so it's more fine tuning. So at the minute we're playing a wine glass, which is really interesting. So what I want to do next is go to the filter, global settings, and this is the amp envelope. So this is your attack, decay, sustain, release for your volume or your amplitude over time. So I want this to be a pad sound, so I want it to drift in and out. Wow. I love it when a good plan comes together. That's fantastic. Okay, so there's loads more we can do with this, clearly. But it's still a wine glass. Mind-boggling stuff. Okay, so what I want to do next is maybe go down the octaves a little. Okay, so that's fine. I want to create some nice textural stuff here. So I'll keep a tuner there just in case I need it. Maybe a saturator, kind of grit it up a wee bit more. And let's add a bit of reverb. So reverb. Oh, there's loads you can do with this. That's ridiculous, but I'll not go too far into the processing. That's a wine glass. Blows my mind every single time. It really does. Okay, anyway, so let's get our kicking. And I'm gonna shut me up here. Okay. So housey techno vibes, maybe. We'll see how we go. I'm kind of getting a bit of a vibe from this, thinking it could be more housey. Some of those higher frequencies out. And just take this down by 6 dB as well. Okay, so and let's get a wee rattle at that a second. Select all the notes, quantize them. I'm gonna legato them as well so they all last the same length. I'm gonna maybe add an additional note up here as well. Whoa, not by doing that anyway. So click and drag. Yeah, okay, so let's get all these starting at the beginning. I'm actually going to move all of these up a wee bit, I think. Up an octave maybe. And then filter out what I don't want. Very nice. Okay, so next up I want to go into modulation section, and I want to kind of slightly detune this a wee bit, and I'm going to use the LFO to do that. So the LFO is going to just move the pitch a wee bit, but I'm going to do it nice and slowly, and I'm going to take up the pitch amount here now, so clearly too much. Just take it down a wee bit. And it's just creating a wee bit of movement. It's kind of like old, like how an old tape machine would work. And I'm going to change the filter amount a little as well. So it's just moving. Okay. Some other things coming through here now, so I think I could do so much more with this, but I'll leave it for now. Okay, remember this is a plastic bottle and a wine cup, nothing else. So I'm hearing like a kind of ARP type of sound. Now I could use that same sample again, but I'm going to try and make it a wee bit more creative. So let's get out the old, yeah. So you have to remember that you have the item that you're going to strike and then the item that you're going to strike this with. So you have the exciter and the, I can't remember the name, but you get the idea. So whatever you hit this with will change and alter the sound. You can also dampen it with a finger or whatever. So if I was to hit this with a felt pad stick, you would get that sound. If I use the plastic element of this, it's a more high-pitched sound. So that's something to be aware of. I am going to use, for this, yeah, I think I'll just use my hand, to be honest. So let's record this in. So I think I have what I need there now. So essentially what I want to do is, again, work out what pitch this is. So let's do that now. So let's take this. Oh, actually we can do it here. If I just go, I think I want this one. Let's have a listen to them all first before I decide which one I want. Sometimes you think it's one, and then you don't listen to it, and it's the other that you're after. So let's have a listen. This one's going to be quite loud. So I think it's going to be this one or this one. Yeah, this one here. So double click, right click, set 1.1 here. So that's right at the start of that sound. Actually, I don't really even need to do this, to be honest. I'm going to just crop the sample and get rid of the rest of the stuff. Okay, so I'm going to try and make some type of ARP out of this. So I'm thinking Command Shift and T, and I'm actually going to use something different each time I try and do this. So I'm going to go Max for Live Device, and I'm going to go Instruments, and I'm going to go Granulator. Granulator is fantastic. So this is a good way to introduce you to some of these things again as well, or for the first time. So if I pop this in here, I didn't check what pitch that is actually. Let's do that now as well. So the pitch of this recording is, get a tuner in there. What is it with A flat? Okay, so that didn't really work too well the last time I tried to do that. So I'm just going to click and drag it in here. And then I'm going to click and drag over this section here, and I'm going to play C. I'm going to get a tuner in here and check out what pitch it is. If it tells me. Ooh. We'll keep going and see. So this tightens up the grain, and this loosens the grains up, so it's playing multiple grains from multiple places. Sorry, I should explain what a grain is. Lovely. So a grain is, well, think of a piece of music. You know, the length of this. You can split that up into thousands of elements or grains. And basically what you can do is you can pick which one of those elements or grains that you want to play back, and you don't have to play them back the normal way that audio plays back from, you know, the start to the end. You can get a wee bit at the start, a wee bit in the middle, a wee bit at the end, or a wee bit in between all of those things, and just amalgamate those together and create another sound. So it's really fascinating the way it works, and that's basically what's happening. You'll see a lot of stuff in here that's similar to a synth. So if I click here on the view and go to the filter section, you have your amp envelope, your filters, and an FM input. So you have another synth engine here that you can mix and blend this sound into affect the sound of the sample. So you're modulating the sample sound with a synth sound. So again, you can create some nice textures in there as well. So I'm getting C now. You want to press C in the keyboard. So if I want an ARP sound, I'm just going to quickly go Arpeggiator for now. Take the gate right down. And just take it there for a second. So the attack, decay, and the release right down. Okay, so we're getting something already. This is pretty insane. I can't even remember. What do we use now? What was that again? Oh, this is bizarre, but brilliant at the same time. Okay, so let's... So we can go into MIDI effects and say we want a bit of randomizing, maybe not do that, maybe random velocities. So I have a separate tutorial on this, but basically what's going on now is we're randomizing the hits. So how soft something is or how hard something is. And yeah, that's fine for now. Okay, so I'm going to just take off, hold a wee second, and bring in everything else. So we'll need to filter some of these sounds out as well, probably. So let's have a look at the notes that we put in here. That'll work. So I'm going to copy these notes over. So I'm going to try the whole chord and see how that sounds. But I might just use one of them. Yeah, so I don't like that. So I'm going to just take these out. And this. And this. Okay, so we have this. Stick an echo in there. nice phasey sound. I'm gonna ping pong it instead. Maybe take the feedback or dry and wet down a little. I think I need a bit of distortion in there as well. It's beautiful. Okay, then they use my voice to do some as well, but I'm not, because it's it's more seen as a musical instrument, I guess, and it's kind of not what I'm trying to do here. I'll have to struggle and not do that. Okay, so next up, let's see what else we have. I love the sound of this bacon tray. As mad as that sounds. I think we can get a bass line out of that. Okay, so let's try and do that. Oh, sorry, I'll show you the bacon tray. If I don't kill myself with this first. How rude of me. So this is the bacon tray. It's like, yeah, it was like fibre or something. Like it's one of the most expensive bacon trays I've ever bought. Sounds good. It's worth it. Be good for techno. Okay, so let's get that one in. Okay, so even some of the sounds that we have there, we could have used those as well for bass lines, you know, but just trying to mix it up a wee bit. Okay, so first thing that I would do again would be to try and get this into some type of sampler. So we used sampler, we used a granulator. We can use one of those again. There's loads of others, but yeah, I think just for speed, I'll use a. I think I'll use a. Let's go sampler. The reason being is because I might mix some form of synthesis with this one. We'll see. So here's the sounds. Just by looking at them, I'm thinking some of these. Yeah, actually any of them. Let's just hold something down here. Yeah, I like that one. So we could maybe start off with that and see how we get on. So zoom in a bit there. Don't know how much of this I need, but let's get rid of that. Don't know how much of this I need, but we'll keep a bit in there. And see how we get on. So that's in D or F or something like that. So sometimes you'll not get it'll not tell you the notes straight away. For a number of reasons, I think. Sometimes it's just not a particular pitch of anything, so you have to mess around. Sometimes it's just a level too. But yeah, it can be a number of things, so you just need to kind of fiddle with it until you get some type of inkling as to what it is. The other thing as well that you can do is basically just play around until it sounds right. You know, if you get close enough and you know a wee bit about music theory, or you've done this quite a bit, you'll probably get, you know, as close to the note that you need to be. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe go into this this section now and start bringing this down a wee bit. It's pretty dark. Okay. Okay. That's pretty basic here, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to just start off with a wee arpeggiator on this as well, just to give me an idea. Okay, know where we are. Okay. So I'm going to filter out a lot of the higher frequencies. I'm going to go to a drum bus. So I want to just solo this for a wee second as well. Just so I can kind of see where I am. I'm going to change the circuit to an analog type circuit within the filter so I can drive it a bit. And put on a wave shaper and go hard. Okay, let's take the level down here now on this section. Okay, so I'm getting close to where I want to be. So now we've got a filter envelope too. So I'm getting an extra wee rhythm in there now by just turning the amount of that up. I like that. It's not what I wanted to do, but it's a happy accident, so that's fine. I'll happily accept that. Okay, so do I want to do anything else to this for now? Yeah, I think I'm happy enough with that for now. This down by a wee semitone here and do you like that or do you not? Not in this instance. Okay. I could keep going with this to get something else, but I think I'm going to leave it there. So let's take this down a wee bit, just to find our balance. So I can take off that harp now. Ba-dum-bum. Okay, so this is really difficult to play back because there's loads of delays, but let's give it a rattle. So G, E, F. Okay, so just trying to get this in the right key. It's a B. Sometimes you think you have it, and then you realize you don't. I'll just need to work on that to get it exactly in key. But you get the idea. Okay, so let's see what else we have in our bag of tricks. So we've got this weird thing. Well, it's not weird. It's a thing for taking like hair or I don't know, whatever off clothes. Sounds like this. Made it work. So let's record that in. Okay, let's do that. So arm it and record. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do something more percussive. Pair of scissors, like so. I'll bother showing you them. You know what a pair of scissors looks like. Okay, next up, duct tape. Duct tape, if you don't know what it is, it's a big, thick thing of tape. So let's get some of that. Lovely. And oh, some nice metallic sounds. So I have a piece of metal I'm going to strike with a nail. You need to watch your levels when you're doing this type of stuff. Okay. I think that'll do us. Okay, so let's get cracking here now with this then. See if we can get this into some type of order. So let's get a listen to this one. Scissors, so the one before it then. There's loads of things you could do with that actually. So there's a few techniques. There's a thing called pulse stretch where you can take recordings in and literally stretch them 100 times longer than what they normally are, and you get some really amazing textures. I'm not going to do it on this. If you want to have a look at it yourself, go for it. There's a few other things that you can use as well for this type of stuff. If you have a Mac, there is plugins from a guy called Michael Norris, and they're amazing. So what you can do is you can bring a piece of audio into some of these and start going bananas with it. So like, let's take this recording. And let's play it back a wee second here and have a listen to it again. Take up the level. The first one's fine, so just crop that one for now. Sometimes there's a wee happy recordings as well that you don't mean to record that are in there, so it's good to, you know, I probably shouldn't delete all of these things, but yeah, I want to make sure this tutorial doesn't last for 3 weeks. So really, what's going on? Am I being stupid? Probably. Loop, crop. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to start this around about here. You could use this for a million and one different things. I'm going to duplicate it a wee second. So top one's up there. Going to bring this one down a load of octaves. There's another thing that you could potentially do as well. Your phone has slow-mo mode. See, you record stuff in there in slow motion. You can get some amazing sounds from that as well. Yeah, that even sounds cool already. So anyway, back to these. Let's go for Spectral Granulation maybe. It's been a while since I've used these, so bear with. These are free, but you need a Mac as far as I remember. This is Granular Synthesis. So we're rearranging the recording and the grains to create some really interesting sounds. There's a few different ones. I would need to have a wee mess around with it for a while, but spectral freeze and filter bank sounds good. Let's get rid of that one a wee second. So yeah, this could be a starting point, and then you might take it somewhere else in after that. But even just for creating textures and stuff. Another thing that you could do, like even just with the Ableton stuff, if you go to audio effects and just go to reverb and start freezing the reverbs. So let's take the decay time up and the dry wet up. And you get this type of sound. So I've just froze that reverb, and I'm going to open up an audio track beside this now. I just love that type of sound. So I can record where it says recording here, right? So recording, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to now record that channel. Audio from, is there a few called recording? There is. Recording 2. Okay, so now I go back into this channel and pick recording 2. There it is. Okay, so you can see now that this meter is the same as this one. Just going to hit record. And I'm recording that audio in there. This is great for sound design as well. So if you're ever designing anything for film or anything like that, this is a fantastic way to work. Okay, so I can now stop this. Oh, what's that? Did I keep something on there? Oh, it's that. Okay. So then you have this sound. We can take the level up a bit. And it just creates this vast sound in the background. That's fantastic. So what you could do is you could get an auto filter in that. Sorry, an auto filter even. Get rid of that. Don't need it. And then maybe go for a bandpass filter at 12 dB. Have that sitting around about there, and then get an LFO to move it at a slow rate with a nice filter delay or something. Okay, gonna get rid of this, don't need that anymore. I'll make this available so you can have a look through it as well. So the next couple, I'm just going to fly through those. So I'm going to open up a couple of audio tracks. And this one, let's have a listen. Oh. Yeah, so very first one, I'm going to use this as a shaker type of sound, I guess. So I'll just pop it up here. And then I will chop it. So crop it, chop it. You know what I mean. Okay, so let that. Okay, and then I want this. Let's see. It's slightly out, but I like. Oh, sorry, it's not. It's because of the other one as well. Okay, so let's just stop this. Now I could clearly do more with that. That's fine for now. A wee bit early. That's the way I wanted. Okay, that's the next sound again. Oh, that's a tape. Okay, couldn't remember what that was there. So again, pop it over there. You could use this as a kind of snare sound. Bit of filtering. Maybe, yeah, I would need to spend a wee bit of time to get this exactly right, but as you can see, there's a lot of frequency there. Could nearly be a clap as well. With the right echo on it. Maybe a drum bus, they bring out those transients. And then the last recording was... Oh yeah, okay, so let's use this one here. I reckon that'll be enough. Okay. And let's bring that into another track. I'm going to duplicate this one a wee second. There we go. So let's start here. So I just played in a couple of notes there. Not perfect, but that's fine. Let's take out the 8. Let's take that F. Duplicate. The overdub. Okay, oh shit. Well, let's just delete this one. Okay, so again, this needs tidied up a bit. But you get it. I'm going to try beefing this up a wee bit and putting in a chord, maybe. Who knows? So let's go. Let's be crazy and try a 9th chord. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 semitones. Isn't that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so 11. So what I'm doing is when I'm playing one note now, we're getting a chord instead. I might go down 12 semitones as well. Oh, sorry. Drive it a bit more. beautiful. You know, again, just keep in mind that this is literally, what do we use? Well, you know, did we use any, just going back to the original question, you know, are they instruments? Are they not? I'll leave that down to you to decide. I can't decide for you. For me, they are, definitely, 100%. It just depends on how you use them and how you can pull out what you need from it to create something. And it doesn't have to be pitch perfect or, you know, melodic in any way, shape or form. It doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to form to the usual musical constraints. It can be anything you want. If you enjoy it, that's all that matters, really. So we used a wine glass. We used some tape, a piece of metal, a pair of scissors, a plastic carton, and Jesus, this thing, that's it. And we've got what we just heard there. So I think it's really important to experiment and explore. Of course, you can bring in, you know, more standard instruments as well into that mix, but it just shows you what you can do if you sit down and manipulate and twist and turn. Like, I haven't done that in a while, so I was a wee bit rusty there this evening. But, you know, if you practice that and just have it in your mindset that anything can be an instrument, and take your phone with you, record a lot of sounds when you're out. I have a designated field recorder. I'll just show you this. Oh, actually, it's recording something over here. But let's see here. Let's see if I can grab it. So it's this thing over here. It's just a portable recorder. And essentially that allows me to go out and record stuff in the real world. So it could be nature, it could be anything at all. You know, there's so many things you can do. I've got lots of recordings from that too, so I'll go through them at some point. There's different types of mics that you can use when you're recording. So, you know, you can record above water, underwater. If you record underwater, you need an underwater mic. It's called a hydrophone. And you just literally pop it into the water and you plug the other part into your field recorder and start recording the sounds underwater. And like water, so it kind of acts as a natural filter. So when you're under the water, everything sounds different. These things are fantastic as well. I'll do a separate tutorial on these, but basically they are coil pickups. They pick up electromagnetic vibrations. So basically everything around you is vibrating, everything's generating a sound, everything has a noise floor, and basically this can hone in on those particular noise floors, and you get some amazing sounds from them. Your mobile phone's making loads of noises, you just can't hear it. This helps you hear it. Everything, your computer is, there's an orchestra going on inside that, but you can't hear it. Think about all those resistors and capacitors and power supplies. You know, there's so much going on, but that's below the audible hearing range, and you can't normally hear it. But with these types of things, you can hear it, you can pick it up, you can record it, and you can bring that into your music as well. Very good for creating low frequency, drone, hummy type sounds. So it's good for bass. Good for a lot of things. It just depends. You can pitch anything up or down anyway. You can also get piezo discs. I don't know if I have any here. No, I've got a. You can make a lot of mics yourself. This one is, I can't remember the exact name for this, but essentially this is, there's a small mic in here, and you can just, if I show you that, you can just clip it on to whatever you want, and then that surface you can use it as a, you know, as a percussive element, or you could put this onto a guitar, like an acoustic guitar, a violin, and it picks up the vibrations of the actual instrument, and then you can bring that in. So it's a way to kind of mic up traditional instruments. So that can work as well. There's loads of things you can do. I'll have to do another tutorial on this. There's just so much to talk about, and we're already in around 10 minutes, so I need to go for a cup of tea and chill out for a bit. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I know I did. And I'll see you in the next tutorial. All right, folks. See ya.